Welcome back to the gray space. I'm Zeke. That is Dre.
Yepers.
And we got another fire one for you guys this week.
Yes, we are back. 2024 is all up in here. We gonna get into it today.
Yep.
But before we get going, y'all know what to do. Subscribe, comment, like, share. Let the people know that you are rocking with the Gray Space Podcast. Wherever you are listening to us, Apple, Spotify, Podbean, wherever you're getting your playlist, your podcast playlist, make sure you leave a 5-star revizzle faux shizzle, okay? Let them know that you rocking with the Gray Space. Now,
man, 2024's got to go off with a bang so far, bro.
We had to do a special. This one is dropping. This one is dropping before the normal date because we had to get into this.
We had to. Listen, man, this is crazy, right? Like, we started off with a big old earthquake in Japan.
Come on,
7.6 earthquake, right? And I don't know if you heard, but 2 planes collided in Japan. One that was carrying the stuff to relief with a passenger aircraft. Crazy stuff, dude.
Yeah,
2024 so far, man. We only a few days in.
It's wild, man.
And what we're going to talk about is the Katt Williams stuff.
Now, all the stuff you said was way more important, but, you know, it's not what the people want. They don't care about that earthquake. They care about the earthquake that Katt Williams was talking about.
Hey, we got some stuff to talk about with this, though, because I find it very interesting and multiple levels of it. You know what I mean?
Let's get into it, man.
And
so for those, everybody should be familiar by now by the time this comes out.
I mean, geez, dude, I think you've got to have seen at least a clip or something.
At least a clip. Katt Williams, Shannon Sharpe broke the internet. I hate when people use that term. A lot of people say that we're going to break the internet. Mm-hmm. This broke the internet. No. The definition to me of breaking in the internet is when people that are not necessarily concerned with the information get the information.
Right.
Katt Williams broke the internet. Katt Williams was recently on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast, a very popular podcast. Shout out to Shannon Sharpe, who has last year, 2023 was just a great year for him. I'm a super fan of Shannon Sharpe. Mm-hmm. I've said this before. Growing up playing football, Shannon Sharpe was one of my favorite football players. I still believe he is one of the top 2 tight ends that I've ever seen play, top 3 tight ends that I've ever seen play football. He's in my top 3 and I'll never take him out no matter how good tight end. He's like one of those guys, you know what I mean? Shannon is like Shannon Sharpe, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. Don't argue with me about it. That's who I saw play. They're great.
Yeah.
And Shannon Sharpe has really moved on into the media space in a way that not a lot of athletes can. Mm-hmm. Obviously there's been a ton of guys who have moved on and done great jobs. Ryan Clark, the Pivot Podcast, All the Smoke and all them. We talked about them before. But Shannon Sharpe had a great year last year, going from Fox Sports to ESPN First Take, a couple days a week. Mm-hmm. Starting his own podcast, Club Shay Shay. Mm-hmm. Now has a podcast with Chad Ochocinco Johnson called The Nightcap, which is a very, very fun show to watch. And it now has Gilbert Arenas added to their kind of crew or whatever. But for those who are not familiar with Club Shay Shay's podcast, go get familiar with it. Go check it out. Mm-hmm. It's basically a conversation between him and a guest, normally a celebrity guest. And they sit down, they have some of his Portier, whatever it is, his cognac, a little bit of water, and they sit there and chop it up. And he's had many viral moments that's come out of this podcast. Mm-hmm. None like how we've seen drop at the beginning. Like, how many days? We're shooting this, we're 5 days in to 2024.
Right.
The last 48 hours has been Katt Williams, and I don't want to talk about nothing else.
Yeah, dude, it's been pretty crazy. And to your point, kind of, it has been taking over feeds everywhere.
Man.
All the reels, all the TikToks, and, people going and trying to verify some of the stuff he's talking about.
Go in your Google search and just put in the letter K, and the first thing that's going to pop up is Katt
I'm sure
Williams.
It will, dude. I'm sure it will be trending like crazy.
So let's unpack this thing from our perspective. What I mean? Not that you guys care, but fuck it, we're gonna let you know.
Yeah,
anyways.
for sure, man. So he basically is just outing a lot of different people. Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, who else? Help me out here.
Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, Ricky Smiley, Faison Love, Ced the Entertainer,
Cedric the Entertainer,
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
I forget her last name. There was a radio host that he went on. Pretty viral moment for him. All that already happened. That was like trying to clown him. Not Wanda Sykes. I think her name's like Wanda Smith or Wanda Simpson, something like that.
I want to ask you though, so all this stuff, he's, people stealing jokes, plants in Hollywood, basically selling their soul, stuff like that, right? Are you surprised by any of this?
So I'm not surprised, but I want to wait to get there real quick because I know people should know what's really going on. But here's the difference in how we consume and how a lot of people consume. We talked about this. A lot of people consume clips. I have watched the full interview.
Right.
I have watched from beginning to end the full interview. So I always like to watch the full interview because there's going to be clips that are going to be taken out of context.
For sure.
Because they're made for it to essentially break the internet, right?
Right. And to be honest, man, we do the same thing, right? We do cliffhanger clips and stuff like that. 100%. We do the same thing, right? Like it's to what it's supposed to do is gather your interest enough to go watch the full episode. So even though a lot of people don't do that.
I'm going to give a roundabout of my consensus of the interview. Okay, just real quick. Let me be real quick. First of all, starts off out the gate, Katt Williams is like, Shannon Sharpe does a great intro. Katt Williams comes in, basically says, thank you. I'm appreciative to be on this platform. Here's why I'm here. And then from there, proceeds to talk about, now, he's talking about, it starts off with him talking about previous guests that have been on Club Shay Shay. So this is not an attack on people randomly. It's people who have been on there, had things to say about Katt Williams. And he's like, it's my turn to talk.
Right.
Then it goes on into some of his history and how he came up in the comedy game, which is very, very interesting. I thought Shannon did a great job of still trying to reel that in a sense of like, let's still get the story behind Katt Williams. Let's clear some things up. Katt Williams talks about some of his philanthropy, his his work in comedy. But essentially every step of the way, it goes into Katt Williams basically letting you know that in his truth, and you said something great that we talked about yesterday, is at the end of the day, this is his truth. In his truth, here's how he has lived this Hollywood life, and here's what he feels has happened to him. Here's the things that he's seen or heard about. And he's tired of people talking shit about him. And so now it's time for him to start revealing some truths about other people. And that's essentially what the podcast is about. Okay. Right. So just to wrap it all up in one.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to, do I believe there's some truths in that? 100%.
Right.
Like, for all of the stuff, let's bring the Diddy situation into it, right?
Okay.
I lost my voice like a 12-year-old, my 12-year-old self. Let's bring the Diddy situation into it. Let's bring the R. Kelly situation into it. The things that are being said are not things that have not been said. It's just they've gone way too long. Like when you're doing great and you're succeeding, people tend to, and Katt Williams said this, people tend to look past the shit that you're doing. And especially when you have a conglomerate that controls the narrative. This happens with corporate business all the time, right? Somebody gets fired for XYZ. All these people are involved, but we need a scapegoat, right? This happens all the time. It's just Hollywood and entertainment is the only place where it happens in front of our face. And we love to be entertained. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times we will let shit go until it's like super egregious. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be like, oh, nah, man, I can't fuck with him. But you heard about it 5 years ago.
Yeah, but I agree that people go, oh my gosh, but then I agree to your point though. I think people do like to be entertained and liked the trash talk stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's what he wanted from it. I'm not sure after watching this, I'm not sure what he wants to gain from all this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know, right?
I think I do, but go ahead.
Right. But in the sense of like, the focus is now on him again, right? Into some sort of degree, positive or negative, whatever it is, right? I don't know if that was what he intended it to be, but it seems that way. So you get both sides of this. Of, oh man, this is totally a publicity stunt, right? Mm-hmm. But then it's also like, no, I need to clear my name type of stuff. So I'm really neutral, to be totally straight up honest with you about the whole situation, because I could kind of see both sides working at the exact same time. Now, I will agree with you. Are there truths in what he's saying? 100%, dude. We all know, whether you want to admit it or not, right? And you brought up a good point about corporate business, right? They're going to fire the CEO, even though the CEO had nothing to do with what was going on with certain directors below him, but got to get rid of that CEO to rein in a new era of people, right? And you need a scapegoat. It happens constantly.
All the time.
100%.
100%. So,
and for me, I have been really thinking about this podcast, and I'm like, I don't know if you remember, we did a podcast and it was called Is Reality Even Real? Mm-hmm. And for some reason that kept coming up in my brain, because the older I get, and reality is real, right? Like, that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm kind of going with this is somebody else's reality is not necessarily your reality. So and again, to take Katt Williams' point of view, his reality and what he's seeing is not Kevin Hart's reality and what he's seeing.
Right.
They're going to have two totally different stories.
100%.
Whether you agree or not, that is their truth. And it is their truth that they see and that they believe to be real and reality. You know what I mean? Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's just very fascinating, because I feel like we've opened Pandora's box, and not just with Katt Williams stuff. This has been going on for a few years now. I feel like people just started talking about stuff, right? Like and I think the way the internet is going now, and people having these open spots, just like how me and you do, right? Like, we have this and we talk our own truths, right?
Right.
Whether you guys agree or not agree with us, it's fine, but it is our truths. When we do the top fives, you disagree, but that is our reality and that is our truths to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, it's very interesting. There's a lot of layers to it. I think I find it fascinating on a human level. It's so many different things, bro.
Here's my thing with, and again, I watched this from start to beginning, right? Not all the way through at once.
Right. It took a little bit.
I mean, dude, it's 2 hours and it's almost 3 hours, 2 hours, 49 minutes, something like that. So I watched in like maybe 20 to 45 minute increments, right? Here's my thing about how Katt Williams, I have to go off what I've seen and what I see. Mm-hmm. When Katt Williams says, I don't just pop out, he doesn't. Mm-hmm. He has not been very, very much in the eye of media, unless, to his point, his name is being slandered for doing drugs, or he's arrested again. Like, normally when Katt Williams is in the media, it's not because he's popped out and been like, hey, right? It's normally like they've tried to create this narrative. Right. It's from and I'm saying this from what he's saying. I'm taking what he's saying and I'm putting out there so we can assess this thing. The other thing is that Katt Williams, during that interview, there wasn't a moment where he had the answer before the question. He was asked questions, thought about it every time, sat there. Okay, let me answer this correctly. Right? He also asked questions back to say, so are you saying this? Okay. And then when Shannon cleared it up, he was like, okay, cool. I just want to make sure that this is not what you're saying.
Right.
Here's my thing with Katt Williams, bro. And this, and also let's talk about some of the accusations that he made. It may be coincidence. We can all say that it may be coincidence. But when you, and if anybody has even done a little bit of research on this, which I'm pretty sure you've had a little bit, or it's just popped up on your feed.
Right.
If it's a coincidence, it's a darn good coincidence, bro. Like, that's a darn good coincidence. Like, it is almost verbatim.
Well, people are
when it
now
comes
finding
to the stealing jokes.
Right. People are finding the Cedric
Not only
entertainers.
does he say that, but he says, my name at the time was Katt in the Hat. If you go look at the Comic View clip, if anybody ever remembers, I'm old enough to remember Comic View late night. Stand up. You're going to watch Comic View, and then after that, you're going to watch BT Uncut. You know what I'm saying? What's Tip Drill? You know what I mean? These, D.L. Hughley was, I was introduced to D.L. Hughley from Comic View. Katt Williams from Comic View. A lot of great comedians from Comic View. His name on Comic View in the clip is what? Katt in the Hat. In the interview, what does he tell you his name was? Katt. He goes, go look at it. My name was Katt in the Hat. I had to change it because Disney was watching Comic View, found this joke that they put in their ad, and people are like, oh, that's unreal. Disney wouldn't do that. Well, BET was BET not a top 3 entertainment service provider at this point in the late 90s,
early 2000s?
Like, it was MTV, VH1, and BET, and now we know that they've all been bought by the same. So they're all the same now.
Yeah, they're all the same company at this point.
They're all the same company. So is it that egregious to think, that crazy to think, that somebody from Disney didn't pick up on? They can find Joe Blow from down the street and give him a cease and desist. It's not that. Is it that crazy to think that they won't go to Comic View and say, you better tell this comic, or go to him and be like, hey, we're cease and desist, or we're suing you?
Right. Oh, that's
very reasonable, bro.
Very plausible.
This is all I'm saying. Is it reasonable? Is it reasonable? And when you look at it, bro, I'm probably never going to meet any of the people he's talking about.
Right.
If we do, great. And if that's the case, at that point, I will judge those people by how I have my interactions with them.
Right.
But damn, it don't look good. Right.
It don't look good, man.
And here's why, bro. Like, to your point, this stuff has been coming out. This stuff has been brewing. It started with let's not take away from how it really, 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 really started. It started with R. Kelly. It crept into the Bill Cosby stuff, which is people are still a little shaky about, and I get it. When they went and started getting the white guys, when they went and started getting the Steens,
well, yeah, it was. And
now the list just popped out.
Yeah, like the Me Too movement. This whole thing is about.
Now the list just popped out.
Well, you got
the Diddy shit, TD Jakes.
Yeah, man. The Jeffrey Epstein stuff is starting to slowly starting to leak.
I'm not saying it's true, but the rumors have been there for years.
Right. It's, bro, look it, man.
And Hollywood doesn't control social media to the extent that it wants to. It's why they're trying to buy the shit.
Right. And look it, man, this is my personal opinion about Hollywood in general, right? Take it or leave it.
I should have poured a bigger drink.
Is spiritually or not, I truly believe people sell their souls in a sense, right? 100%. Like however you want to take that, whether it's figuratively or 100%. Literally.
100%.
I truly believe that happens.
Yes.
It's, and look at, man, it comes from the Weinstein thing, right? Of like, you do this act, I'll give you a 5-movie deal.
Come on, man.
This amount of money, here we go.
Come on, man.
Right?
Come on,
so
man.
Why not it be, if you do this, I'll give you 10, whatever the money is.
Come on, man.
To me, that is selling your soul to get power, notoriety, money, whatever it is, right? Whatever you're seeking and whatever you're wanting. That's why you only see a few people reach this top tier. What 0.0001% of people reach this point? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And reaching it organically is almost none. It almost does not exist.
100%.
I'm not saying it does not exist. I'm just saying it's very rare that it does, because what rare. You're doing, what's happening is, and I think we all know this, right? Mm-hmm. There's only a few people in this world that have a lot of power and a lot of money and a lot of say so.
100%. It's undeniable.
So again,
whether you want to believe it or not, it's undeniable.
Right. So things are happening, right? I think there's things being shown to us, whether it's Hollywood or not, right? Again, Jeffrey Epstein, not really Hollywood. It's infecting Hollywood people, celebrities. Yeah. But I mean, he wasn't technically a celebrity, just person who had a lot of money and did a lot of weird shit. Mm-hmm. Let's just call it as it is, right? Mm-hmm. And the more money you get, what do you do with your money? You start getting into weirder and weirder and weirder shit. Right?
It seems that way.
Bro, I don't even want to know. I legit don't even want,
bro.
And it doesn't even have to be sexual, bro. It could be straight up like a couple dudes, right, that have billions of dollars, if not trillion, well, I don't know, right? Going, I want to pick two dudes, I want to see one fight to the death. And I want to see it in my face. It could be stuff like that. I don't want to know. It could be even worse than that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to know. And I know it sounds very like conspiracy, but come on, you cannot be closed off to that, because shit like this happens, bro.
100%.
Yeah. So anyways, all I'm saying is, to me, there's a lot of truth in what he's saying.
There's a ton of truth in what he's saying. And look, people want to know. People are going to ask what side. And look, for me, I'm going to say as a viewer, I'm going to say that I tend to agree and believe Katt Williams more than the other side. Now, we'll see how the responses are. We'll see how much. Like I don't know about as far in depth as far as some of the things that he talked about were maybe offered. Mm-hmm. We weren't there. None of us were there.
And we'll probably never know about that.
And we'll never know. To be honest with you.
The real exact amount, the real exact whatever.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Since then, and this is probably the first time I've seen it, there's been a lot of people who have come out in support of Katt Williams. More than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That have come out and said, hey, bro. And I mean people who they might not have the success, quote unquote, of who he's talking about, the Steve Harveys of the world, the entertainers.
Right.
But dude, they're not bums either. Like they've had very good careers. Red Grant being one of them. You know what I'm saying? Who's come out and said, you know, Katt Williams was one of them dudes. Columbus Short has come out and said some stuff. Other people have come out and said, man, no, Katt Williams, everything he said on that podcast is 100% absolutely true from their vantage point. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important because this is the first time that we've seen somebody go against the system and somebody else be like, but nah, for real though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's something to be said when you don't come out and firmly deny the shit. That's what trips me out.
Okay, I I'm glad you brought it here real quick, man. I only saw one person, and I've heard Steve Harvey has responded some way, somehow. I don't know if it's, you know, X, Twitter, Threads. Okay. I don't know. But I did see Kevin Hart's. And, bro, be quiet. Like, don't, like, it didn't. Go search out what he said, because I can't remember verbatim what he said, but it basically went, I feel bad for you, but then it went into, I'm doing a movie on Netflix and go check out the trailer. Here it is, because, you know, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, it just didn't make sense to me, bro. Like, I'm like, is this real? Is this really going on? Just like, it's one thing to be like, man, no, he's tripping. He don't know what he's talking about. Right. Okay. Like, I could take that. Like, you, but then you add in your movie that's coming out in 8 days and whatever you're saying. Man, come on, man.
No, and it has to be said, they have a long standing feud. Like, Kevin Hart has directly said that Katt Williams did drugs.
Right.
So
yeah,
they got real.
I'm
beef.
just saying, though. Yeah, and I get you, but I'm just saying, it just to me was like a weak way of like combating that to me.
So Kevin Hart said, I was looking up the quote.
Okay.
Kevin Hart said, "Got to get that anger out. Got to get that anger up out your champ. It's honestly sad." Mm-hmm. End quote. Hart wrote, "In the meantime, please enjoy my movie trailer to my next film, Lift, which will be dropping on Netflix in 8 days." That's
weird to put that together, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, put that first part, right? Like, you got to do you, champ, right? It's honestly sad. End it, bro. Like, good, fine. I'll take that all day. But then you say, man, my movie's coming out in 8 days or whatever, and on Netflix, go check out the trailer.
Well, and that's just a shot. That's just a shot at.
I still don't like it, though. I'm just saying, I just don't like it. Like, again, promote your movie, promote your TV show, promote whatever you're doing. I get it. I understand. Right. But two totally different contexts to me. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, it just, again, what it does to me in my eyes, I tend to go, oh, okay. And look at, man, I don't know these people. It doesn't make me hate Kevin Hart more or anything. It just makes me believe Katt Williams more. Yeah. Because you're like, bro, you're doing the same kind of what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, you know when you don't come out and for sure say, like I said, I haven't seen everything, but and I was trying to look up see if there was anything specific that has popped up while we're talking. Yeah. I mean, I want to try to keep up to date.
Yeah, things are happening second by second for sure.
I haven't seen anything that unequivocally is like denying. Like, he sat up and called people liars.
Yeah, straight up.
You call me that?
Mm-hmm. Aren't you going to defend? I mean, you would defend yourself, right?
It's got to be more than just, yeah, man, I feel bad for him. Like, no. You could say that and be like, but I've never lied about anything that I've ever spoken about, and I stand on what I stand on. And even if you just do that, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. Cool. But nobody's flat out said, even I saw a little clip from Ricky Smiley, mm-hmm. who says, well, what I can tell you is that I did, audition for Money Mike. But that's not what you said before. You said that they switched your guys' roles. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm saying, like, you got to come out and categorically deny this shit, bro. Like, you have to be like, nah, I wasn't there, I wasn't there, but we got you on camera at 9:40. I wasn't fucking there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got to do that shit, because if you don't do that, I'm not saying I believe him, but I'm just saying I believe him. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's just interesting, man. Again, the curtain's being pulled back, right, on our society. I'll say, right, because whether you know, people, I've seen people say, well, I don't care about celebrity stuff, dude. They're still human, right? If they're still part of our society in a weird way, right? And look at, man, I don't really follow a lot of this crap either, to be straight up with you. But it's almost not necessarily eye opening, but it's almost like, man, I just think shit's gonna get crazier, and we're gonna find out more and more as that curtain gets peeled back, bro.
Yeah.
I really do. You know, and bro, I mean, you could go down a whole line. It doesn't even have to be celebrity. It could be government stuff. Like, I just feel like the curtain's being pulled back more and more, and I think we're getting more and more.
The veil's getting open, man.
Bro, it's very interesting, and I guess we'll see what else 2024 brings, man. And
so I'm sorry, I'm reading some of this shit, bro. Man. So he took some shots at Michael Blackson, who's the African comedian. Now this has been known. Like, he said that he used a fake accent and kind of embellished his African accent a little bit to basically gain a bigger fan base. He has actually come out, and Michael Blackson has come out and said that, like, my accent is not this heavy. I do, for the most part, embellish it a little bit too. And to me, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your culture, bro. If that's your culture, like, if you're Latino, but you're not always using an accent, but it's in you, like, you grew up speaking Spanish, you could definitely, like, you know, that, like, and you want to go on there and embellish a little bit or accentuate a little bit. I wouldn't even say embellish, accentuate a little bit, like, because you have the accent, you know how to do it. Use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was Irish American, but I knew how to speak Irish and could use that to in the entertainment world for my benefit, why not?
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's come out and responded, and basically, I think he did it in kind of a classy comedic way of, like, you know, but your glory days are behind you. Yeah. You know, cool. Like, I don't mind that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, you know, Katt Williams, you are still one of my favorite artists, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, look, man, this thing has gone extremely viral. I want to ask you this. What do you think happens next?
Honestly, bro,
because I really thought, and I want to put this in there real quick. I think most times we're of the mindset of this is gone in a week. I do not think this is gone in a week, bro. I do. You think so?
Oh yeah, yeah. With the way our society is, 100% for sure. We won't be talking. It might not be a week. It might be a little bit longer, right? Okay. But I'm telling you, man, our society, it's on to the next. I'm telling you right now, bro. It is definitely on to the next. Now, will this podcast, these clips, they're going to live on, right? In a sense of, does it completely die? I don't think it completely dies.
Right.
No, but trust me, I guarantee you, we weeks away, bro. Weeks away from something else. Something other dropping. And it's just going to blanket that. You know what I mean? So it's going to push it aside, and you're going to be like, it's not necessarily forgotten about, but it's definitely pushed to the side. And like, okay, another day, another time. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
What do you think is going to be Katt Williams' response?
He might not respond, bro.
I don't think so, bro.
I don't think he responds.
I think he drops this.
I think he said everything he needed to say,
and we don't see him, bro.
I don't think so either. I think he, because the way he came off anyways was very I'm telling you everything basically right now.
Well,
so you already know where he stands.
He said I waited to get this off my chest. Like I let everybody have their piece. I chose this platform to do it.
Yeah, now it's my turn. So I think he had his turn. I think, in quote unquote, I think he goes kind of back in hiding in some sort of sense because he's not a very public. He's never been a super public person anyways.
No.
So I think he just kind of goes, and that's why I think it kind of gets pushed aside. But again, those clips, that podcast lives on for forever until they take it down, right? But people save that stuff anyway, so it lives on the internet forever.
Dude,
so it doesn't matter.
They did. I mean, within the first 12 hours, it did like 5 million.
Yeah.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. No, maybe that was like 2.5 million. I think it was at 11 million in 48 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just going up. Everybody has something to say about it. You know
for sure.
Now, I think, here's why I don't think it's necessarily going to super die.
Because what's going to happen? There's going to be, like we already know, Monique, came out and says stuff, right?
The branches that are going to come from this, bro.
That's what it is, right?
He planted a ginormous avocado fucking seed into the ground.
Yeah.
And put
excuse me,
extra hormones and all kind of shit on top of it and steroids and HGH, and the tree is now already sprouted.
But people are going to have to, again, that people will have to be reminded where this came from, though. That is for sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's always going to go back to the clip. It's always going to go back to the interview.
Right. But I don't, because, dude, somebody's going to come out, right? And it might be way more egregious of stuff being said. That will take the place, right? And then people might think that's the starting point. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just the way our society works, bro. It just, people's minds get sidetracked and then it gets moved on. There are people that will remind you, though, right? And go, no, that started back over here.
The quotables from this damn interview.
Oh, dude. Just wait for all the memes and stuff.
All the memes.
I've already
he's like, I didn't think you were such a person that associated yourself with losers. I'm very disappointed in you. Bro, the amount of quotables that are going to come out of this interview, is amazing.
But see, that's where the internet kind of wins anyways, too, right? Because the internet wins, in my opinion, with
internet won, bro.
Oh, the internet won.
They always win.
They win, bro. They win.
Come on, man. Come on.
Anyways, yeah, let us know what you guys think about all this, man. It's crazy, bro.
Oh, Lord, I'm finna be canceled. Katt Williams said, shit, after this, you gonna have Oprah on this motherfucker. Shout out to Katt Williams, man.
Speaking of Oprah, too, man, there's a lot of stuff coming about her, too. Oh, so, I don't know, man. Again,
think about Oprah, man. I might have to stay off of that one.
People with power, though, people with money, weird stuff happens, bro. I'm just sorry. Weird things that are normal to you and I and to 99% of this population. It's
shit. I get an extra $100. I don't know how to act. So you know what I mean?
Right.
Give me 10 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? Psych.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, man. Let us know what you guys think about all this crazy.
Also, real quick, Dave Chappelle just dropped his comedy special on Netflix where he addresses certain things. So yeah, go check that out. And what do you guys think about this whole Katt Williams situation? Do you agree with Katt Williams? Do you disagree? Are you playing on both sides of the fence? You know what I'm saying? Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. You know what I mean?
You guys stay positive out there.
Stay safe and stay positive. You know, as always, this is 2024 and it is the gray space. Peace.